this is Sandra of Cherry Heart with podcast number 8. Yeah, number 8 I think is right. Happy 2016 to you. This is my first podcast of this year, so I hope you had a lovely Christmas, if you do that sort of thing, or a lovely break or holiday at least. And I had a really nice break, as I blogged about the other day. But yeah, it feels like I've got behind, so I've got things to show you. So I thought, I've got enough to fill a podcast. Let's do it. So, where should I begin? Let's begin with presents, because I got lots of lovely Christmas presents. And it's been my birthday too, so I've got lots of incoming to show you. So, for Christmas, let's start with that, I got 2 lovely packages. So the first one I'm going to share with you is from Heather of Vintage Grey. Now, I've been following Heather forever, approximately, give or take. Yeah, for a long time, since I sort of started blogging, really. And her stuff is lovely. She embroiders and sews things, sells them on an Etsy shop, and possibly her own shop as well, I'm not sure. But anyway, she sells them online, and they're gorgeous, and I've always coveted them. And every time she did a shop update, it would always seem to be just slightly when I just spent out, or I had something coming up, and it never sort of seemed to be just the right moment. And then, this is years back, I'm going, because I've wanted something that long. And then postage rates really went up, and then it became really quite, wow, it's going to be quite expensive to get something sent over. But anyway, I've been dilly-dallying wanting them for ages. So this Christmas I couldn't think of anything particular I wanted. So I thought, I know, I will have that. I will treat myself, or we will treat me, to some of Heather's lovely things. So we normally make a little bit more effort on each other, but this year we decided to go with the whole, I'm just going to tell you what I want and I'm going to buy it, and you are going to pay for it and wrap it up for me. So normally we do make a little bit more effort, but this year we went down that road. So anyway, blah blah blah, stop babbling, start showing us goodies. So I ordered from Heather this bag, which is just made out of vintage fabric and is just gorgeous. And I want to show you the inside as well. Look, she's put a lovely tag on there. Oh, the lighting is terrible today. That's a lovely tag, and I love this inside. I mean this as a compliment when I say it reminds me of my nan's. My nan used to have a kitchen tablecloth, and it was a bit like this. Which sounds like I'm being horrible, but I really love that it takes me back to those days. And look at this most gorgeous pot holder with Heather's beautiful embroidery on. She does sort of variations of these, and it was so hard to choose just one favourite to have, but I love her dears. So I have that, and then this. Look at him, isn't he just gorgeous? Look at the little sequins with everyone's got a bead on as well, and that little fur bit. Oh, I love it. I've actually still got it hanging up. I've got it hanging up in the craft room. I know it's not Christmas, but I just couldn't bear to pack him away. He's just so gorgeous. I love him. And Heather's parcel, when it came, it was just such a joy to open. She put so much effort into sort of the packaging, and it had little tags on it, and little she'd made little candy canes out of pipe cleaners, and it was just so vintagey and so perfect and such a delight to open that, yeah, it was a good thing to go for. I'm glad I decided to do it, because it was such a treat. And also because Heather is just the most amazing person. Not only is her work exquisite, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, I've seen her photos for lots of years now, so I've known that her standard is high. So my expectation was high, but when it came, I was still blown away because it's just brilliant. She also put in a little pouch to match the bag. And also, if that wasn't enough as a little extra, she also put in, look, a little edged hanky, crochet edged hanky, and the cutest little zips. Let's just show you the little pullers on there. Get round the right way, you devil. Yeah. And this little flowery one there. How cute are they? So now I've shown you, I can think about what I might want to use them on. But it was very special, and I was blown away by the quality of it and just her generosity and kindness. So yes, if you've never seen Heather's work from Vintage Grey, do go and check her out because she's just so talented. So that was fun. That was a really nice thing to open Christmas Day. And then, because I'm lucky girl, I got another handmade gift from my good friend Sam, who I've mentioned before, Sam of Betsy Makes. And she made me, I shall model them for you, some of her lovely fingerless gloves. Perfect for me, what sucker for the fingerless glove. So this is her own pattern. Oh, I should have looked up what the pattern name is. I'm not sure. Sorry, Sam, I can't remember. But if you go to Betsy Makes website and link to her shop, I think she sells patterns through, I know she sells them through Love Knitting. I think she sells them through Ravelry as well. But yeah, she's got a pattern for these. Aren't they just cute? Really nice. And then she also sent me cowl to go with. Look at the little pom-pom. So cute. I'm not sure which way up. Sam, am I supposed to wear this way? Or is this way best? I quite like the pom-pom sort of, hang on, down at the side, at a jaunty little angle like that. That's what I think I'd do. I don't know if that's the intention. But yeah, and cowls are perfect at the moment because now we've got the mutt, who's sleeping down there. Now we've got the mutt on the scene. If I have anything shawls that dangles, he's wanting to bite it. So I'm sort of tucking them, tying them and tucking them in now. But cows are perfect, so I don't have to worry about them falling out and him leaping for them and trying to chew them off. So that is perfect, thank you, my lovely, lovely friend, Sam. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky girl. It's really nice to get handmade gifts for Christmas. So, yeah, so I did lots of knitting and making while I was off too. So what should we start with? Let's start with finished things. Let's do a sock section. So finished socks. These are a bit rat baggy, so please forgive me because I have actually been wearing them. I had them on earlier, actually. But these are my... God, the colour. Sorry, the colour in here is atrocious. It's making everything... I've had to switch the lights on, you know, in the room to sort of try and get some kind of visibility, but it's making all the white balance all horrible. It's making my walls look yellow and me look ill and bleh. Anyway, enough waffle. If I get this closer... Oh, look, that's better. It's warmed it up now. I shall leave this sock hanging on the side to make it warmer. Yeah, so that's quite a good representation of that. Then it's a bit brighter, but it's obviously red, white and green. And the pattern is called Slip Stitch Lines. It's very similar to the Atlantic Current ones, but this one is Slip Stitch Lines, and then, who is it? La Maison de Saba? Saba? S-A-B-A. La Maison de Saba. But it's a free pattern on Ravelry. But it's... what's the word? It was a really perfect knit for these because it was completely mindless. But there's a little something going on, but it's really easy to remember. And it makes it really easy to count the repeats because of these sort of little extra stitches. Yeah, so that was fun to do. I'm not sort of absolutely over the moon with the sort of You can see there's a bit of pooling, can't you? This sort of darker patches. Yeah, it's a bit of a oh, that colour when it warms up like that is so much more. That's what it's actually like to be here. And that cold, dingy colour, it's not really like that here. It's nice and warm. Right. Yeah, so I'm not in love with the whole pooling thing, as you know. But I just, when I wound it up, I really liked it, but I was a bit worried about how it came out. So considering that I was quite concerned that it might really pull, I think these came out quite well. But I think it's really, really making me think I'm going to have to be a bit more careful about what I buy. Because when you go and you see them in the shops and on yarn stands and so on, you get so excited about all the different colours. And I love them on the hanks and I love them when they're wound up. But I'm really a bit about this whole. I'll just show you what it looks like on the back. So if I'd done a plain sock, that's the effect I would have got. It's quite nice actually. See this one quite warm up, there you go. It's quite nice, but yeah, it's so risky. I'm too much of a control freak. I want more control over what my colour does. Anyway, moving swiftly on from my issues. So the next one, I've been on a sock kick, a real sock kick. Yeah, they say you can get addicted to them, don't they? And it took ages for it to kick in, but it's really kicking in now. I feel like I could just continually have some on needles. I think I've said that before. But this year I was thinking I might try and aim for a pair a month. So 12 pairs this year, which the rate I'm going will be easy peasy. I've done about 5 pairs in the last, don't know, not long, 3 months maybe. So that should be nicely achievable. Anywho, so those were my Advent socks for my Knit Along with Sam, Betsy Mexican. And hers, she had similar colours, but they came out completely different, so it's quite interesting. And then these ones were the ones I made as part of Little Bobbin's Knits Christmas Eve cast on. So because I had my Advent ones in my Christmassy colours, the idea being I would knit them up to Christmas so I could wear them Christmas Day and have something Christmassy Christmas Day. Because I only started these ones Christmas Eve, I thought I'll go in a different direction and not go Christmassy. So this, I should have said, this yarn is from a package I got. It was sort of like a box and it had yarn and some other bits and pieces in it, a nice candle and some Christmas decorations, which was a gift box that I got from Dinosaur Yarns. They're on Etsy. And this yarn, I'm not going to remember, am I? Let's see if I can find out for you. One moment, I have the little end here so I can find out. Okay. It's by Truly Hooked, who I believe are on Etsy. Yep, they're based in Nottingham, England. That's their card. It's a bit bent up because I put it in there. That's really not focusing great, is it? Anyway, Truly Hooked. And it is 75% merino, 20% nylon and 5% stellino. We've got a nice little bit of cake left, a little cupcake of cake. Oh, see, look how nice these things look wound up. Oh, so exciting! I love it like that. And then not that I don't love these, but it sort of looks a little bit mad when it's all knit up. Anyway, they're quite funky, aren't they? Not very funky, very loud. I actually got some shoes the other day, some like Mary Jane style, so that I could have my hand knit socks poking out. I'm middle-aged now, practically. Am I middle-aged? I'm over 40, does that count? I can get away with wearing loud socks and have them showing in my shoes, that's the joy of it. I haven't quite plucked up the courage to wear them out in public yet. I must admit. But that's the aim. Yeah, so they're quite good. This pattern, not very good at giving out information today, am I? Waffle first, info later. Let's change that. So, information. Coffee and Cupcakes, this pattern is called, by Megan Schmaltz, who I think is SoCal Megan on Instagram and Ravelry. But it's another Ravelry pattern. I think I had to pay for it there. I think it was a paid for pattern. And I put the Fish Lips Kiss Heel in, which is what I used on the Advent socks as well. That pattern was kind of, I modified it and used the toes of Hermione's Everyday Socks and put the Fish Lip Kiss Heel in and just did 2x2 ribbing because that's what I prefer. And this one, that was worked cuff down. Coherent, not at all coherent today. And this one was worked toe up, and I really wanted to knit cuff down because that's much my preferred method now. But the pattern was toe up, and I thought, well, I'd better not, because I didn't know how this would turn out, this sort of pattern. I thought it might look wrong if I just changed it round, and I thought I can't be bothered to think about how to make it come out looking right like this if I knit it down. I don't even know if you can. So I thought, well, I won't mess with it. I'll just go with it. I quite like it. So it was Judy's Magic cast on, Fish Lips Kiss Heel, which I put in, and then I increased slightly. I think there was going to be this panel up the side, which I don't love, I have to say. I kind of wish I'd increased enough to get another repeat in. I nearly did, but I thought, oh, it'll be too many more stitches, it'll be a bit much. But I think I would have been alright in retrospect, and it would have been better, in my opinion, than having that panel up the side there. But you know, you live and learn, don't you? And then to cast off, I tried Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast off. And it is surprisingly stretchy. Because I always have trouble getting the cuffs over because I've got quite a... But look, it's got loads of give in them. So that was quite good. I don't absolutely love the effect of it though. It looks a little bit untidy to me because you sort of get this extra bobble underneath each stitch. Which is fine on the pearl, you can't really tell, but on the knit ones, they sort of... Yeah. Didn't utterly love that, but I do love... Look at those ends. All the colours that come through in the ends. Yeah. So I didn't love that effect, but given that it's on the cuff and given that that'll be under my trousers the vast majority of the time, I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? And if it does the job, why worry? Yeah, so I really like that pattern though. I think I would be very tempted to make it again in a slightly less yarn, something a bit more solid and smooth and, what's the word, not smooth, you know, solid, one colour. Something more muted, more restrained. There we go, that's what I'm thinking. And then I might actually try making them cuff down just to see how the pattern turns out. But yeah, I like those, I would make those again. And then, continuing the sock segment, that leaves us nicely into works in progress. Because I've cast on yet another pair of socks. Yes, I have. Another one, I know. Right, so these are my latest. I'll kind of wear it for you because it stretches out the cable and you can see it in all of its glory. Look, isn't it beautiful? There, love it. So these are... Oops. Sorry, I was leaning on my desk and I fell off. God, I'm an idiot. These are called Painton. They're by Rachel Coopy. And they're from her Coop Knit Socks. So that's the first book from her book. And I've had the book, I got the book at Fibre East in the summer, last summer now. yes, I've had the book for a while, and I made the pennycrest socks out of it in the summer, and then I've not made anything else out of it, and it's got loads of lovely patterns in, so I thought I must get back to it. So this is the one I went for, and I got to sort of here and made the first row of cables sitting on the sofa next to the husband, and I did one row of cables and thought, oh my god, this is far too much effort. Cables, they're just effort. And I nearly jacked it all in there, and I thought, oh, I don't know, it's just, I want something that I can remember. I don't mind a sort of bit of interest, a bit of pattern, but I want it to be easy enough that I can get it off by heart, so I don't have to be, you know, thinking about it too much. And this does require some thought. So I sort of said to him, oh, what should I do? I've got this book. I really do want to knit the socks out of it, but I'm not sure I can be bothered at the minute. And he said, because he does have moments of wisdom, he said, well, why don't you do another hour and see how you feel? You might have got the hang of it by then and it might be going smoothly, or if it's really just too much work, then don't bother. And I thought, that is some good advice. I quite like it. So I was just trying to get you a better shot with better colour. Oh look, there you are, that's better colour. Yeah, so I did. And so after an hour, I'd got to about here, and I was feeling much happier, and I thought, you know what? It's going fine. I'm starting to get the hang of the pattern. I'm good. So I knit away up to here with my I've got the hang of the pattern, and it turned out I hadn't got the hang of the pattern at all. I'd missed out 2 rows. I don't know if you can see, but there's like, get my finger in the right place, there's 2 cables, then there's a slight longer bit, then there's 2, and a longer bit. Well, I'd missed out a couple of rows in between, so I'd scrunched them all down onto each other a bit. So it still looked good, and I'd knit a long way. And yeah, I was not best pleased, to be honest. And I thought, well, it still looks good, don't worry about it. So I continued on, and I knit up to probably about here. I was almost at the heel, people. But it was really bugging me. And I could have just knit the other one the same, just done the same mistake at the beginning and then carried on. No one would have known. Again, look, it's at the cuff. It would have been, it's going to be hidden under my trousers. Who cares, right? Who cares if I've missed out a couple of rows? But it bugged me. So I ripped back. So I ripped back yesterday, and, well, Sunday, because I'm not sure when I'll put this up. I'm recording on Monday, but by the time I get it up, it'll probably be the end of the week, to be honest. But yeah, so I ripped back, and I did this last night. But I'm quite pleased that I've come so far again, so I'm not back where I was. But all that in one, from the ribbing back up in one session isn't bad, I thought. So yeah, and I'm glad I've got them right now. Fussy I was being. I thought I'd just show you quickly the finished article. It's not going to focus very well on that, is it? Apparently. There we go. And that's what they should look like when they're done. Is it quite posh? Look at that little sort of fancy bit. Ooh. It comes down. Oh, it's so hard to do everything backwards. Yeah, over the toe. And it's on the back of the heel as well, and it just looks so, it's very posh and very clever, and yeah, so that's fun. What else am I doing? Oh yeah, another Christmassy start this was. Yeah, so you may recall, if you've watched these before, that last year I started a sock blanket, because a lot of people in the knitting / blogging podcast world are making like these little tiny mitered squares out of their old sock yarn, making these huge, enormous, beautiful, gorgeous blankets out of them. And I got sucked into this, and even though I vowed I would never knit a blanket, I thought, yeah, I could knit a blanket, it'll be fine. So I started and I collected up all my old bits of sock yarn, and I bought a few more, and I made about 20 squares, maybe as many as 25 big ones. And it was so small, like I knit for forever, and it'd be tiny little amount that I'd done. And I just couldn't handle that slow amount of progress. It's just you'd knit and 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 knit, and you'd have like one tiny little square. So I thought, I can't do it. So I shoved it in a bag somewhere, swapped away all my minis, my little bits that I had, apart from a few, just for favourites. Swapped it all away, done. And then for some reason, I suppose Danny from Little Bobbins has just been finishing off her sock blanket and just putting the edging on. And I just thought, I've been seeing them again, and yeah, it rekindled my interest. So instead of thinking I would knit one again, which was clearly, stupidity on my part from the beginning, this time I've decided to crochet one, which I always considered doing, but I thought, it won't look as nice. Crochet, as much as I am deeply in love with it, can be quite a sort of, what's the word? It's not as neat looking sometimes as knit, just for plain rows of crochet don't look as neat, in my opinion, than just plain rows of stockinette or even garter, depending on what look you want. Yeah, so anyway, long story short, I thought, I don't know if crochet would work to do the same job. So I thought I'll sit down and have a little try and see what I think. So I did like some mitered squares in crochet, which were alright. But what I really wanted, or one of the things that annoyed me about the knitted version, is if I ran out of a mini and I didn't have enough to finish, you have to make like a Franken square, don't you, where you add in a bit of something else. Yeah, I'm not good with that. I did do it a couple of times, and on some of them I got a really close match to the colours. That wasn't too bad, I could kind of live with it. But a couple of squares, I just didn't have anything that matched in, and it didn't sit well with me, people. I can't lie to you. I didn't like it. So I wanted something that was more adaptable in terms of size. So, long story short, what I've done is just basic rows. I'm doing squares more or less, but just basic rows of back and forth treble crochet. But what I'm doing, and this is the cunning part, people, is if I've got a smaller bit, I'm just doing like as many rows as I can do, and then I'm switching. So some of if you imagine I've got a strip, and then I'll have another strip, and I sort of plan to end them so it looks basically square shaped, but some strips will be thinner, so I'll have little rectangles. But I can live with that, it's coming out alright. I was worried that it would not sit well with me, but it's coming out good and I like it. It's still got a nice patchworky feel to it. I could have just showed you it, couldn't I? Shall I show you it? Would you like to see what I've been waffling about all this time? Let's see if I can get it all in. I can't see. I think I've got it all in. Yes, I have. So there you go. That's what I've got so far. And I see, horrendous colour again. So where's my beginning? So I started. So I started here, and this is from my Advent socks. Look how different it looks crocheted up. Not entirely in love with that, but I like that it's from my Advent socks that I made at Christmas, and I started this at Christmas, so it seemed appropriate. But then this one, see, I've only got a little bit of. So this one, because I had a lot of it, I did a bit bigger. So that's a square, but this one I did bigger because I had more of it. And then this one's just square, and I've gone up and up. And then once I've gone up a bit, I sort of join. Go back down to the bottom. Back down. Then I join some more on, and then I start another strip, and then I just add in. So again, I've got a square, and then I only had a little bit of that one. But I had a lot of that one, but a little bit. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And I like it. I like it's got a nice sort of patchwork, scrappy feel to it. So it's good. So this represents all the sort of little bits. There's a few little favourites I kept, like I kept some of this because I just really like the stripiness. And I got a couple of swap bits that people had sent me, like this. And this is from Amelia. You know who you are. Emil Carve. 1967, is that right? It can't be right, you're not. Anyway, I think that's right. Yeah, so anyway, so that's as much as I've got from what I had left over after I'd swapped a load away. And I'd got, subsequently had some more leftovers, like this one was new, and some of the plainer ones. Oh, and this one was from my Pennycrest socks, so that's a new one. And this one came with a yarn order. And this one was from my Fruit Loops socks, which is kind of, it looks all dotty, but I quite like that one. It made gorgeous socks, and I quite like the square, and the yarn feels gorgeous. Yeah. So that's about as far as I got, and I had one little space left. I thought that'll do for now, and I'll put it away until I can get some more leftovers from making socks, and I'm going to have to do some swaps and buy some minis and stuff, otherwise I'll just be here forever. But yeah, I had one little space left, and when I tidied up the craft room, I found that I had one little mini that I hadn't seen before, so I've shoved that in. So that's good. So since then, I've finished my cupcake socks, so that can go in. And I've got just a couple of other little pieces that I haven't used yet, but I wanted to space out my littler bits because I haven't got that many of them. Yeah, so that's as far as it goes. So I'll have to go away for a bit now until I can collect up some more things to add to it. Which brings me on nicely to purchases. More goodies, more incoming goodies. So as I mentioned, Christmas comes and sometimes people don't know what to get you, so they give you money. And birthday comes and they thought, I didn't know what to get for Christmas. Sure, can't think of anything for our birthday. They give you more money. Great. So I have been purchasing. So let's do the link, because the link was the sock blanket minis. So obviously I needed to buy some more minis. What could I possibly do? It was beyond my control. It had to be done. So I purchased some minis. Now these ones are actually quite maxi. Not very mini, aren't they? They're a bit bigger than I thought, but that's good because I can get a good few squares out, can't I? Or I can get a couple of squares out and have plenty to swap, which is a bonus. So these are inspired by mushrooms. Let's see if we can get up. Which I guess is kind of, those ones look very sort of mushroomy colour, sort of browns, creams, greys, and then this one's based on like a red cap, the red with the white dots on. So yeah, they looked pretty funky. And these are by My Mama Knits. See if we can get that to come up. It's on Etsy, you can't read the little writing, but can we? By Sunshine Stewart. She's on Etsy anyway, www.etsy.com.uk/UK/shop/My Mama Knits. But anyway, My Mama Knits, and it will come up if you search. And then also from her shop, I got these lovelies. Again, quite big minis. So, lovely pastel. I think these are cupcake selection. So cute. These are lovely. This pink, I would love a big one of, and this peach, which is not coming up very nice because of the stupid colours. But yeah, it's really nice in the flesh, and it's really soft and gorgeous. So yeah, so I'm going to knit these in, and I might order some more of those colours because they're really nice, make really nice socks. And she also sent an extra one in the package. So I was very happy with that. Very happy with those. And I also got, and this was from Mothy and the Squid. I keep wanting to say Monty, but it's not, it's Mothy. Mothy and the Squid. Another Etsy one. Excuse crinkles. But it's a rainbow. I haven't taken these out yet because they look so pretty like that until I use them. So purples, pinks, red, orange, yellow, and then the other end of the spectrum, limes and jades and blues to indigo. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Imagine them scattered around in it. They're going to be fab. So happy with those. And then for my birthday, from my two lovelies, I got some Kate Sabine yarn. So let's show you. Look, she has these toadstools, but that's her card. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Oh, that one worked quite well. www.katesleen.co.uk. I saw her stuff at, oh, I'm not going to remember the name of it, not Fibre East, the other one, no, it's gone. The other festival I went to, October was it? Oh, why can't I remember? Hitchin it was. Festival. Yes, I think that was it. Right, festival. Yeah, so I'd seen her yarns on a stand there, but I think there were only a couple left. And I ummed and ahed, and it's towards the end, so I was a little bit almost spent out. So I thought I'll have a look and see what she had online, and she had gorgeous things. So this flamingo, I think, is the colourway. This is DK weight, it's superwash merino, 100%. It's in flamingo. So I'm thinking maybe cow, maybe mitts. And then this one's DK as well, a bit different for me because it's got quite a lot of black in it, but quite a lot of hers do have at least speckles of black in it. But I quite like it. I've seen some nice, oh look, wow, suddenly the colour came, bam. See, so it's dark but it's got lovely shots of colour in it, isn't that fab? Yeah, I've seen some really nice hats made in this, but me and hats don't really get on, so I don't know. Be a bit risky to make a hat. And then I'll try it on and think, yep, look like an idiot, as per normal. And then there's this one, which is sock yarn. Let's see if I do it that way again. Would it get the good colour? Oh, there, wasn't it, about there? Not bad. It's a bit brighter than it's showing. It's not wanting to show you it in all its glory. But anyway, you get the idea. It's sort of like the other one, but less grey black in it, more just seeing the brightness of the colours. Again, goodness knows what it's going to knit up like. It looks like it's just going to be a bit of splodges everywhere and higgledy-piggledy, which I like. So let's hope so. Infernal camera. There we are, that's a bit better. It's that sort of angle, you've got to get it at a weird angle. Anyway, waving the stuff in your face all the time. Trying to get it to work, but it's not having it. Oh, I forgot to show you a work in progress. We'll go back to that. This is getting quite long, I'm going to have to shut up. Right, and last two are from Nora George, who I think has her own website. I think it's just www.norageorge.com. Yes, oh, no, it says Etsy on here. I'm sure she had her own site. But no, it says Etsy Nora George on here. So. So I've got this one, which again, see, after all my comments, I haven't actually stopped buying So this is probably going to come out a bit stripy, isn't it? Because you've got chunks of colour and then white. But I like how pale it is. I like that it's a sort of pastel, a bit more of a muted one, not quite so wild as some of the ones I've got lately. So I think that'll still be nice. That'll be socks. See if I can get the good colour. Wiggling it around, trying to get the colour. It's got some nice sort of little speckles on that end. And then some chunks of colour too. So we'll see what that comes out. And this one, I love even more. That one I like, and it came and it was, you know, like on the website, like it looked like it would be. But this one looks even better in the flesh, which you really are not going to be able to appreciate. I'm going to have to try and take some photos and show them to you. Light's going now as well. I mean, it's 1 o'clock, so obviously can't expect a decent light at that hour of the day, can you? It's practically dark. Yeah, anyway, you get it. It's like refreshers or love hearts or something. You know the sweets, love heart sweets? It's those kind of colours. It's a little bit more sort of yellow and buttery than you're seeing here. So I can't get that nice. I can't get the camera to go the right blessed colour again. Let's put the advent socks in. See, force it. Editing is required. We need to cut out a lot of this, don't we? There we are. Does that show you? It sort of does. Yeah, that kind of works. There you go. Sorry. Yeah, so that's my goodies. Goodies. And then last bit of work in progress is something I only started the other day. So I haven't got very far with it. But it's a little bit of blanket. Not looking great here because I haven't got many colours in. But it's a real stash buster. This is real leftovers that I've got. I've got a bag, big bag, of sort of mainly acrylics, but sort of bits and bobs that don't really belong with anything else. There's a couple of discontinued colours in there, and then there's a bit of sort of one ball from one brand and another ball from another brand that I've obviously got just to try colours and things, and they've ended up not being used for some reason. So there's some Starcraft in there, there's some couple of Starcraft Life, because I think they're discontinued colours, and there's some King Cole and some Red Heart. But yeah, so there's lots more. There's lots of pinks, greens and blues, so it might end up being a bit that colour blanket. But this is part of the pattern from the Spice of Life blanket. So it's the stacked shells, I think I called it, did I? Anyway, in one of the sections, this is the pattern. It's free, the pattern, if you are remotely interested in looking. So on the Facebook group, the Spice of Life Facebook group, now that the actual crochet along's finished, we're just, well, I say we're, Black Sheep Wools had the idea, but yeah, that people could make, now they've made the blanket, they could make something else sort of inspired by the Spice of Life pattern. So you could just do what I've done and take a couple of the sections, or I've just got one here, one of the sections, and just make a whole blanket out of your favourite section. Or you could use the pattern to make something else, a cushion or a bag, or I don't know, whatever you want really. Yeah, but basically just take the pattern or the stitches you've learnt and use them in a different way to make something new, because that's kind of the beauty, isn't it? You learn a few you don't need to learn very many things, and you can adapt it to make a whole load of new things without too much effort, so that's quite good. So yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, and I think Black Sheep Wools are doing a competition, so that if you come up with something else using the Spice of Life as your inspiration, you can sort of make up your project and post a picture in the Spice of Life group, and then you can enter the competition to win some lovely prizes. Thank you to the kind Black Sheep Wools people. Thanks to them for their sorting that out. So that's quite fun. So yeah, so ever since I started, I made this section when I made up my original Spice of Life blanket. At the time I thought, oh, I really like this part. I'm going to have to come back and do a blanket in just this at some point because I really like it. I'd love a blanket out of just this. So now I finally got around to it. So yeah, it's annoying me how rubbish these colours look in this light. Don't look this hideous in the flesh. They actually look reasonable in the flesh. This is a lot paler, but yet this is darker in the flesh. How does that work? I don't know what kind of weird lighting we've got going on that can happen. But yeah, as you can see, it's kind of, I quite like it. It's quite old-fashioned pattern, but it's quite open as well with some sort of gaps. Yeah, I just like it. So I'm hoping as I add more colours in, it's going to be a little bit mishmashy, but I'm hoping it will improve. God, look how the light changes. Sorry, I keep going on about it, but it's really annoying. Yeah, so I'm hoping that will improve as it grows. But it's one of those ones that's easy just to pick up, do a few rows, and then pop it down again. So I can just fit a few in here and there, in between other things, and let it grow. Let it grow that way. So yeah, so that's my last work in progress at the moment. And I think that's it, and I think that'll probably do, because look, we've got really long. Let's just check we've talked about everything that I was going to talk about. I think we have. I've got a couple of other finished objects, but I haven't brought those through. I think I need to, one of them needs blocking, and then I need some photos, so I'll put them on the blog at some point. But yeah, I think that's it for now. So thank you for hanging around so long. Thank you for visiting with me, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Okay, bye.